Welcome to this look at a new mod map on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. This is Rehdornheim. This is a new mod map out by DS Power, 118.15 megabytes to download. DS Power has bought us a few different mods, and also the map, Copsheim, has a very similar feel to that, which I guess it would do. Most map makers have their own kind of style. Talking of mods, DS Power has made some mods as well, and we do have some required mods on this map. The Cowshed Pack by Reffarmer and DMI 20mm Normandy, the Cowshed Pack by DMI 20mm Normandy, the Bunkersilo Newfangled by Dithmarscher Modding, Pigshed by DMI 20mm Normandy, the Diesel Pallets by DS Power, and the Storage Pallets by DS Power. All of those downloaded automatically. Contracts are available on this map. Slot count, we'll talk about it now. We'll get over to the farm in a little while. Actually, I'll show you the map because it looks like this. And we don't start at the main farm, which is down here. As always on my map tours, I'm on Newfarmer. So on Newfarmer, you do start with plot 2, which is the main farm area. That is 326,304. So when you come onto your own farm manager or start from scratch and you don't own it, that's how much that will cost. We'd start with field 30, 56 and 87 as well. As we do with little plot up here, 81, which has got a little farmhouse or a house on it, and our pickup is up here. Our sleep trigger is up here as well. So this is where we start, up in the main town area. There are a couple of other farms. There's one farm and one area to be purchased. There's no biogas plant on the map. I did have a look around. Field prices. Now I always sort of kind of go through. Field prices are fairly low. The largest of the fields only coming in at 217 grand, 254 grand, but it's all relative. When you've got a map like this where you've got a lot of small fields, because they're small fields, it's going to take you longer to build up the money to buy the bigger fields. So even though the bigger fields aren't ridiculously expensive, it's going to take you a little while to get there, I guess. So, you know, it's all relative. But yeah, the field prices aren't too expensive. We've got some forestry around the outside. Again, not too pricey, and you can do all right on forestry. If you do enough of it, of course. So, what else have we got? 20 collectibles. I found one on my travels, and that's at the farm area. So, spoiler alert, when we get there, I know often I'll find them, and then before I've realised I've found one, it's normally only one, but there's 20, and they're cartridges. So what did I say, slot count? Yeah, 1,093 the slot count is. Now, I got that slot count down to 776, because at the 3 farms, if you buy all 3 farms, all of the stuff on those farms can be removed. So you can, and actually I'll show you when we get around to the farm, because it'll be a bit weird showing you a picture of one of them now. But on top of the required mods, we do also have some other mods put in. So if we go into here, and if we go down to mods and DLCs, so the diesel pallet and the storage pallets are the 2 required mods by DS Power. In the middle though, Rehdornheim mods, we have got a few extra ones put in here with different capacities. So you've got the DS version. That one, is that normally 3,200 litres? Trying to think what's different about that one. Does that normally just do fertiliser? But anyway, but that one, that's 10,000 litre. That one can go from 8,000 up to 25,000 litre. We've got, these ones have got extra colour options and stuff on them as well. I'm not sure if the capacities are larger, but we've got the 2 buckets, these ones, 3,000 or 15,000 litre configurations. Smaller bucket there, 8,000 and 5,000. And then we've got all these. We've got bags for doing animal feed. So we've got mineral feed, seed, fertiliser, chicken feed, cow feed, sheep feed, and we've also got 2 top mixed ration bales thrown in as well. So that's put in by the map maker. Come out of there and go into our build mode. Under sheds, we've got the Cowshed Pack, which was required. Under silos, we've got the Bunkersilo Newfangled. Then we've got these 2. So we've got a bale and pallet storage, 250 pieces of bales or pallets. And then we've got the silo, 200 million litres. They are multi-fruit. There are 2 of them on the map. There was nothing under silo extensions, containers, tools or farmhouses. I'm going to just check containers. No. Tools or farmhouses. Production. Nope, there wasn't anything as far as I remember. Better just double check that. I don't think there was. Not just generated sale points. Nope. Animals, we've got the required mod for cows, the Cowshed Pack. Required for pigs. Then there was nothing under sheep or chickens. Now that's important because there is a chicken barn on the map. If you remove that chicken barn, you can't replace it because it's not here in the mod, in the sort of the build mode to replace it if you want to. Under decoration though, under others, we've got these two. So this is Courtyard 1 and Courtyard 2. These are important if you do want to remove the farm areas that are there. You've got a lot of decorative objects and they're all lumped into one thing. So you've got the decorative objects and the courtyard flagstones. So if you remove all the buildings, you can remove those decorative objects by removing the actual courtyard part itself. So those two are in there as well. And under landscaping, under painting, we've got the extra textures in here. So we've got a grass one, so you can paint down in big chunks. Ploughed, cultivated, that lovely, there's a concrete and cobblestones, various different textures on these. There's a load in here which is really cool. And then under trees we've got a load, if we go this way, that have been slightly modified. And then under plants we've got all of these, so various different grasses, tall weeds, a whole load to choose from. So under our textures, trees and plants, we've got a load of stuff thrown in as well. So that's the mod side of things. If I swing around, oh, that was what I was going to show you on the map. Sorry, no, on there. The verges. We can buy the verges, which takes in all of that. 0. Doesn't cost you anything. You can buy that. The map edge is pretty much where the rocks are. So whilst you can buy all of that bit, you can't actually get to that. But you do get the lake and the surround of that, and a lot of the areas around, and then the town and stuff. So if you want to add placeables, extra sell points, things like that, it does make that a little bit easier. So directly opposite, we've got the tailors. Our sleep trigger, our little house, that little plot I said about is just here. Down the side we've got our pickup. We've also got round behind the pickup, we start off with a little pallet with some of those bags we were talking about. So we've got some seed and fertiliser. There's 2,500 litres of each, so you can sting those in your pickup, take them down to your farm if you want to, and you can crack straight on. Let's hop in. It's an odd route round I'm going to take, but we'll take it all in. It's absolutely fine. Gas station directly opposite. Dairy just there. We've got an electric charge station just in the car park to our left. To our right we've got Ledley Glimheim sell point, which is just there. Opposite we've got the sawmill, standard production chain sawmill as far as I can tell. Sawmill's in there. To our left we come down here, we've got our animal dealer. So animal dealer point there, and then we've got this here which is station DS. Now this is a buy point. As far as I can tell by looking into the menu, there's only a couple of things we can buy here. So if we go into our menu and go down to here, if you look to the right, station DS, we can buy wheat, which would be for chicken feed. If we go down, the only other thing I could find was total mix ration. There's no pig food in here. Total mix ration, yes, it's the right station DS. So we can buy chickens, we can buy chicken feed, wheat, and we can buy total mix ration for cows, but I couldn't find, I went all the way down, couldn't find anything else I could buy from there. That's the diesel from there. So yeah, station DS, chicken feed and total mix ration if you want to buy it directly, but there's also those bales and there's the bags and all sorts of stuff as well. From here, I'm going to whiz out and round. I have to say, if you do, I mean, you don't have to buy the verges, the periphery of the map, but when I did, I came down here and I have to say, the reflection on the water, I had this weird, it made me think of a Bob Ross painting. Look at that, with the reflection of the trees and the water. That's full on Bob Ross, that, isn't it? If you don't know who Bob Ross is, ask your parents. They'll know. So, from here, back up along the road. I'll do what I usually do and I'll show you on the map where we are and where we've been and that kind of thing. We've got a little bit of a drive between a few different places. Because as I was driving around, the whole time I'm thinking, this feels very familiar. This reminds me of another map. So when I went to the mods hub and I clicked on DS Power, and it comes up with the mods and whatever else that particular person has done, and it straight away comes up with East Copsheimer. That's it. That was the map I was thinking of. couldn't remember the name of it, but yeah, it just reminded me of that. The different elevation changes, the crash barriers, the rocky bits, and the various different lakes and ponds and stuff. That kind of feel. Don't pull out, don't pull out, don't pull out. To our right, we've got the spinnery, and to our left, we've got this plot here. This plot here is plot 42, I want to say. Go to our map. So from our start point there, we went out around up here. Animal dealer, swung down there to the little Bob Ross view. Then we swung down the road here, and we're there, spinnery there, and this point, yeah, 42, there we go. That will set you back 42,864. Do that and that. And we get our chicken barn icons come up. Feed goes in there. Egg boxes spawn there, but we do start off with, on all 3 game modes, 61 out of 1,360 potential chickens. But like I said, if you remove that, which you can do because you own the land now, that can't be put back down again because that's not in the build mode. So if you want to have 1,360 chickens, or you might decide you want to put something else on it entirely, have it as a new sale point production chain, something like that, you absolutely can. But you can't. I couldn't get rid of these decorative objects, so you might want to incorporate those into what you're doing. Anyway, so that's chickens, just here with the spinnery opposite. It's a bold choice of colour for the pickup that you start with. I like that. Colour palette's nice, lighting's good. So I'm trying to remember, I'm sure Nieskopsheim had a biogas plant. That's what made me think as I was going around. I thought, hang on a minute, I haven't come across one. I've checked, I couldn't seem to find one anywhere. But there's plenty of areas if you want to put one in, and there's plenty of modded versions out there. So, you know, back in the day when you'd have a map that would have one on or didn't have one on, and we didn't have many mods, or we didn't have any mods at all in FS15 on console, there was nothing you could do about it. Whereas now it's not as drastic. You know, when you get a map that has certain things that might be on there, might not be on there, you can chop and change and switch things out if you want to. So heading up to the next selection of sell points and production chains, we get a bakery on the right hand side, just there. Industrial park coming up. With our cereal factory over to the right, we've got, what was this called? Agra Handle Pitta, just there, that's a sell point. Come further up, we've got Boulevard, which is also a sell point. We've got the sugar mill, just up there. And then round the back here, we've got the grain mill. The far back, we've got our oil mill. Like I say, this is part of the Verges, so if you want to buy this for €0, you've got plenty of space around for putting in, you know, some extra bits and bobs here and there. It's not massive amounts of space, but you could take out a few trees if you wanted to, that kind of thing. The choice is yours, of course. Heading back down the way we came. This was one of those ones I had to, it was a sort of strange route I had to pick that I could take everything in, but we'll get there. Now to our left is the next farm. So the chicken one wasn't necessarily a chicken farm, I suppose technically it is. But this one here is a proper farm area, which will need to be purchased. I'm going to have to borrow some money from the bank to do that. Let's open the gates. Is that one not one open? Oh, so I say that's good. Then the first one that's open completely first. So, into the area. Now the only thing with this one I couldn't remove was the walls. Everything else, like I say, everything else could be removed if you wanted to, but I couldn't remove the walls. So we go back to our map. For our chickens, we swept all the way around there. We turned up there and took in all of these. We've come back down, and we're now here. So I just need to borrow some money very quickly, because I need to purchase that plot of land. I think it's 300 and something. 300. I want to say 326, 336, something like that. So I'll make sure I've got enough that I can do that. So back up to there. So this plot is 339,600. There's a 6 in there somewhere. So I buy that and do that. All of our triggers appear. So to our right, we've got the 200 million litre multi-fruit silo. We've got in front of us large barn storage space. But like I say, they can be removed, so if you decide you want to put a different shed on there, different shelter, that's too big. I'll say too small would be a bit weird, but it might be a bit too small. If we come around here, we've got a liquids tank. Now this can hold 3. Now this also isn't available under the build mode, but you start off with 1,000 litres of each herbicide, diesel and liquid fertiliser in this. This will hold 27,000 litres, because it's the same. I can put 24,000 litres of something in there, but it will do herbicide, diesel and liquid fertiliser, so that's your total capacity, so whatever of those you want to put in there. Around here we've got a workshop trigger, just there. And we've got the first of the pig pens, pig barns. On all 3 game modes you start with 20 out of 170 pigs in this one. And then this one over here, so I mean they're technically, like I say, if you don't decide you want to do pigs, this farm, it's what I've referred to as hidden slots. They're not hidden, but they are taking up slots if you're worried about your slot count. I know the slot count's a lot better now than it ever used to be, but some people still want to get the slots down. And if you've got a plot of land and you're not intending to do pigs, you might decide, look, I'll just get rid of all this and I can put something else on it instead. And then this one over here, we've got another cow pen. This hasn't got anything in it, but we've got a potential of 250 pigs in there. And then round the back of the large barn that we started looking at, we've got a bale and pallet storage, 250, which was in the build mode. So that's the pig farm. Let's move back to the pickup. From here then, back out onto the road. We're going to head south down to the bottom of the map and work our way across to the main farm, which is unusual doing that last. Traffic's a bit bonkers. We've got a debris crusher just down here. Follow the road along. At the junction we're going left. Coming up is the vehicle store. This is also the reset point on the map. Plenty of open space. I think this is also one of the parts of, I want to say, on the verges, is it? Yeah, that whole section down there. So again, if you want to put placeables on there, as long as it doesn't interfere with the reset point, the spawn point, you can put some extra stuff down here as well. So our vehicle store trigger is just there. Workshop trigger around the back, or to the side should I say. Now we're going to come into the farm from not the main entrance, let's just say that. We'll come in the back way. There's a little track that runs up behind. Now I'm going to be quiet when we go over the next bit. It's one of those things I hadn't noticed before, probably because whenever I'm doing videos and stuff I'm talking, explaining things, but that cobbled texture, just listen. That sound across the cobbles, that's amazing. Love it. Right, let's open that up. So, the main farm. So these are the only things I couldn't remove when I removed everything else with these. So we've got 2 large silage clamps just here. We drive through one of those, and out here we've got Bale and pallet storage 250. Just here. First cow barn. This one is empty. Was it 70? I'm trying to remember now. Yeah, potentially 70 in that one. Back of the building's just here. We'll swing around and I can do the last little bits on foot. I'll stop there. So around the side here, we have got this storage building, but in the back of the storage building, the DS Power containers. We've got two 5,000 litre containers of total mixed ration already in there, already here and good to go. We come around this side, we've got our large shed, seeder and planter, plough, cultivator, forage wagon and front mower. Over this side, workshop trigger. We'll start with our class. We've got a drop nose Massey. Did I say the workshop there? Weights, front loader over there. We've got our harvester around the side there, and we've got another one of those tanks with 1,000 litres of each in just there. Up through the gap there, another 200 million litre multi-fruit silo. Now again, this is one of those things that if you think you don't agree with multi-fruit silos, or you don't agree with the capacity of multi-fruit silos, you think I want them to have multi-fruit but not as big. Like I said, we're going to our build mode. All of this stuff can be removed. The whole lot, all of it can be. The animal pens can be once the animals are removed from them, but all of it can be removed. We come over to here. When I said about removing all the stuff on the 3 different farms and getting the slot count down to 776, when I removed everything on here, it looked like this. So yeah, it gives you plenty of scope to do what you want to do. And then the last animal pen with a couple of trailers down the side here. A couple of Velga trailers. This one we've got 20 out of 140 in here. There we go. And also in here, if I jump the fence, we've got a mixer wagon which has also got some top mix ration in it, 11,900 litres, already good to go. So you do start out with a little bit, which is quite handy. And that's the map. If we go back to where we were, past the debris crusher, past the vehicle shop, came up there and into that way. That's kind of the main road and the main entrance into the farm. And the main farm just here. We've got a couple of roads there, but there's no sell points or anything out that way. I keep looking, I have checked for plots. Okay, I keep looking. I'd always do it when I do a map tour. I look for plots that have buildings or things on them that could potentially be a biogas plant or whatever they might be. I'm pretty sure there isn't one. So that's it. That's the map. That's Rehdornheim by DS Power. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. As always, thanks for watching.